On ng portion where you will be asked to enter a certain code which us, your host, will announce from time to time. I believe meron tayong tatlong codes, partner.
Yes, partner, tama ka dyan.
Yes, and you need to enter all these codes in the evaluation form for us to able to identify kung nagstay ba kayo sa amin from start to end ng show. Thank you!
Tama yan, partner. Siyempre, para naman malaman natin kung sino ba talaga yung mga nagstay.
Oo, kasi yung mga nagstay talaga yung worth it sa lahat.
Yes, partner. Pero ang sinasabi ko ay nagstay sa event, ha?
Ay,
So, partner,
event pala.
shall I do the honors to give the first code?
Yes, partner, go ahead.
Okay, for the first code, please remember and take it down. 1117.
Ayan. Let me repeat that for you guys. That is 1117. And now, to give us a comprehensive understanding about the commonly used financial ratios, allow me to introduce our speaker for today's episode. She is a Philippine certified public accountant and the first place board passer on October 2009, a graduate of Ateneo Regis on the MBA program on August 2020. She is also a vice president of the financial reporting lead at City Financial Services, the finance and accounting consultant at Resources Global Professional Hong Kong's Philippine branch. She is also an senior associate at CISIP Gores Vallejo and Co. and a professor in De La Salle and PUP Santo Tomas. Let us give us a virtual round of applause to Ms. Romeline Carpio Endozo. Ayan. Good morning, Ma'am Romeline.
Good morning.
Hello,
Kamusta
ma'am.
naman kayo, ma'am?
I'm doing well so far. I
Yes,
hope you're all
ma'am.
doing well too.
That's good to
Um,
hear po.
I would like
We're
to
okay din
ask,
po.
and I would like to ask one small question lang, ma'am. What's your favorite movie ba?
Well, since you mentioned, I also love Harry Potter. So,
Wow.
really a fan since I was in high school. Okay, no age reveal.
Oo naman, ma'am. Tayo dito, forever 20s.
Forever 20 lang po tayo dito, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So, that's good to hear po. Pero, shall we proceed na po, ma'am Romaline?
Sure.
And
Can proceed.
partner.
Yes naman, partner. Parang ready and excited na si Ma'am Romeline to answer our questions eh.
Yeah, well, let's see.
Okay,
No.
partner?
Ayan, so Ma'am Romeline, I would like to ask, what is financial ratio and how would you define financial ratio in simple words?
Okay. So I think earlier you mentioned already you had some introduction about financial ratios, but
Yes.
to define it first, okay. So financial ratio, this is a relationship, so a measurement of relationship between financial information, financial numbers that we're seeing in the company's financial statements, and these are useful tools used by owners of the business, managers, analysts, creditors to perform financial analysis, so quantitative analysis uh, across for comparison purposes, so across firm, across the company's history, across an industry, across a business sector. But to put it simply, okay, so uh, financial ratios allows for apples to apples comparison, okay? Because sometimes, okay, it's hard to compare businesses because they have differences in size, volume, market share, for instance. Now, using ratios, we put all of these companies into a relatively equal playing field, okay? So we can compare big companies to small companies. Because sometimes when you look at their financial statements, and then we see a big company's financial statements income is 50 times, 100 times than a small company's income, right? So when we look at it first, we might have our first judgment is that the financial performance of the big company is much better than the small company. But when we use financial ratios, so we take out the size, the factor as a factor of assessing the financial performance. And then we look at it as, the return of asset of the small company is higher. The operating profit is in fact higher than the big company. So therefore, we can assess that the small company is in fact even operating more effectively, generating substantially more profit than the large or the big company.
Napaka-essential pala ng financial ratio, hindi lamang sa malalaking kumpanya, kundi na rin sa maliliit. Pero ma'am, ano po ba ang mga important aspects ng financial ratio analysis?
Okay, so I think the important aspects when you look at financial ratio analysis is that, again, it provides us an in-depth understanding, okay, that we just do not need to look at the financial statements per se, but we need to do some comparison, some analysis to assess the financial performance and the financial status, the financial health of the company. Financial ratios, so there are lots of financial ratios available, but we can group them, diba? If some of you encountered in your accounting classes or in financial management, we can group them into whether liquidity ratios, efficiency ratios, profitability ratio, valuation ratios. So it's important that we know and understand what each ratio means, what are the formula, the financial numbers that we need to use to input when we calculate, so that we will arrive at the correct analysis when we calculate these ratios.
Yes, ma'am. So kanina nabanggit ninyo na kahit na small business ka, kapag kinumpare mo siya in a large business, minsan makikita mo na mas effective yung small business kaysa sa no? So, it also serves as an advantage talaga yung financial ratio para makita kung saan yung kalagayan ng isang company. Ano naman po yung sa tingin ninyong disadvantage ng financial ratios?
Okay, so ang maganda kasi sa financial ratios, simple lang, 'di ba? Simple lang siyang gamitin because in fact when you look for in the internet ng financial ratios, kahit hindi ka accountants, you can just get the formula, 'di ba? Tapos sabi, current assets over current liabilities, already get the current ratio, 'di ba? Simple lang siya. Pero at the same time, yung pagiging simple niya is also a weakness, I think. Because sometimes there are complex set of data, diba, in the financial statements before we can arrive at the numbers in the financial statements. And sometimes there are unique circumstances kasi among companies, among firms, diba? Sometimes then iba-iba yung accounting methodology na ginagamit ng mga companies. Halimbawa, ang mga small companies, pwedeng ibang equipments, tinitreat nila as asset, diba? Pero yung ibang big company, siguro dahil sa laki nila, yung ibang mga equipment na binibili nila, they treat it outright as expense, di ba? So, dahil sa ganon, yung mga ganong numbers, it's not reflected or it's not visible in the financial statements, hindi siya kita. Pero pag kinalculate siya, hindi siya, what I mean is, hindi siya naka-quantify or naisasama sa financial ratio analysis. Yes. Kasi nga, ang kukunin, di ba, is yung numbers sa financial statement. So, nadi-disregard yung mga unique circumstances na ganon. Also, ang financial ratios kasi are based, okay, so sa audited or based on financial statements nga. So, yung financial statements are past numbers, di ba? Ano na siya, lalo na, di ba, ang preparation ng financial statements, hindi naman yan tipong December, kinabukasan makakaproduce ka na agad ng financial statements, di ba? So, ang isa pang disadvantage ng financial ratio, it does not take into account the present situation ng company, present condition, or as well as future condition din. Kasi hindi naman yung reflected sa numbers dun sa financial statements. Parang halimbawa, no March 20, balikan natin, total, nasa pandemic tayo. No March 2020 and 2019 financial statements, halimbawa, di ba normally napoproduce yan ng mga companies, mga March, April 2020, di ba? Ang daming nangyari no March 2020 during the height of the pandemic. So pag nag-analyze ka ng financial ratios, baka obsolete na or parang outdated na yung numbers na nakikita doon sa financial statement. So yun naman yung mga disadvantage.
Yes.
So ma'am, dahil nasabi niyo na ang disadvantage and advantage kanina, paano nga ba natin tinitignan ang financial ratio ng isang company? As a whole po ba or individual po natin siya tinitignan?
Bawat isang ratio, Okay? May ano ka na, may insight ka na makukuha as financial analyst. Pero syempre, again, dahil nga may disadvantages yung mga numbers, 'di ba? So it is best then to analyze it as a whole, to parang relate everything. So you compute the profitability ratio, then efficiency ratio, the yung lahat ng types of ratios, and then relate it to each other. Kasi while each ratio, you can gain some insight using it with the other ratios, yung group of ratios, and then comparing it with comparing it with similar firms or industry, it nababroaden yung picture na nakikita sa analysis. Halimbawa, gumamit ka ng profitability ratio, you identify that the net income of the company, it's operating well, it's able to generate its revenue. But then when you compare it now to the efficiency ratio, baka naman, oo nga, nakaka-generate siya ng income, pero mabagal pa rin yung paggamit or pag-utilize ng asset na supposedly it can further improve pa their profitability. So, ganon.
Na ano yun, ma'am? Parang naramdaman ko yung sinabi mo na efficient, mataas nga yung nakukuha niya, pero hindi siya efficient kung titignan mo. Ako, ma'am, may personal question ako sa'yo. Since nagkaroon ng pandemic, di ba ang laki ng change talaga kung titignan mo yung from the financial statements ng 2019 at ng financial statements ng 2020, saka financial statements ng 2021, napakalaki niyan kasi ang daming nangyari within those years. Have you ever experienced ba, ma'am, these changes na nag-invest ka sa isang bagay? Sinasabi mo nga na usually sa past nga po yung nag-invest ka sa isang bagay knowing na maganda at tong past na to, and nung dumating yung pandemic, biglang nag-plummet down. Nagkaroon kayo ng ganong experience, ma'am, sa investing?
Well, yes, lalo na kung halimbawa, 'di ba, if familiar kayo halimbawa sa stock market, 'di ba, yung prices, 'di ba, nagbago siya, nag-drop, 'di ba, during the height of the pandemic. So yung mga ganon na changes nangyayari siya. Though depende rin naman kasi yon kung ano yung purpose mo for investing. Sometimes kasi if you're not into short gains, 'di ba? Mag-realize ng gains agad. Those are parang sometimes negligible muna. Parang kalmahan mo lang. Makakabawi din tayo. Let's just wait for the pandemic. Pero pag long term naman yun nga, kung long term ka naman, yun parang lang. Medyo makakatulog ka pa rin naman sa gabi.
Mahimbing pa yung tulog-tulog ni ma'am, no? Knowing na talaga testing talaga siya ng patience, no, ma'am? Pagdating sa ganitong financial ratio analysis, it's just, tinatest talaga niya yung patience mo kasi tinitignan mo kung yung past ba niya ay sumasakto sa present din niya. Di ba? Kung yung past niya, at kung yung present ba niya ay mahihigitan yung past niya o baka bababa, no? Thank you so much for sharing those, ma'am. And yung question ko, ma'am, is ano yung mga key indicators ng company para malaman na trustworthy ito to invest in?
Okay, so if we're looking at investing into a company, okay? So siguro, anuhin muna natin, i-categorize natin yung pag sinabi nating invest, okay? So kung halimbawa tayo, we're interested in stocks, investing into stocks sa mga listed shares sa market, okay? We do have valuation ratios to analyze whether yung prices ng stocks are overvalued or undervalued sa market, okay? So that's something that's helpful also, okay? Kasi halimbawa, price over earnings ratio, it's a price, what we call price multiple, halimbawa. Pag masyadong mataas yung price over earnings, okay, it does not necessarily indicate na overvalue yung stocks na bibilhin mo ng company. You have to compare it with the other similar companies' price over earnings multiple, okay? Kung masyado siyang mataas, it could be an indicator na overvalued yung stocks na to, meaning you're paying too much compared to the earnings that the company is getting, okay? Pwede rin use, halimbawa, price to book ratio, market capitalization, na parang yung price is masyado ring mataas compared mo naman sa book value per share ng company. or dividend, pwede rin na dividend yield. Okay, mas simple, dividend yield. Tingnan mo in the past magkano yung dividends na binibigay ng company na to compared to other companies.
Yeah.
Dividend over price, di ba? Yun yung dividend yield. Pag nakita mo na masyadong mababa, parang medyo kakabahan ka ng konti mag-invest sa company na yun kasi it's not generating as much or you will not collect as much dividends compared to, say, investing it to other similar company. Okay? So yun yung parang for pag halimbawa kayo, interested kayo to investing into stocks. Okay? Okay. Pero yun nga, again, you have to use all of this analysis. Okay? And it also depends on what is your purpose for investing, whether it's to realize short-term gains or long-term. Okay? Parang invest mo lang siya dyan para mag-increase yung price in the future. Okay? Now, or to get the dividends. Okay? Meron din naman na yung sasabi natin investment, like, halimbawa, gusto mo mag-invest into a business venture, halimbawa, di ba? Parang maybe gano'n na tayo kayaman, halimbawa, bibili tayo ng kumpanya in the future. So, gano'n naman yung natin. Pwede mo rin tingnan, halimbawa, current, yung liquidity ratios, halimbawa, ano yung ability ng company to pay its short-term obligations. Pag masyado siyang mababa, baka risky kasi there's risk of default. Pag masyado mataas yung utang ng company compared to its total equity, total asset, baka risky din. O, di ba? Kasi, pag may utang, ibig sabihin marami ring interest na babayaran. Tsaka may,
That's true, ma'am.
di ba, meron kang, mababa malamang yung interest coverage ratio niyan, yung net income niyan impacted. So, tingnan natin yung mga ganong analysis, okay? But again, okay, ratios in itself, di ba, limited, may disadvantages siya. It's best to compare it also with similar, parang across, lagi mo siyang i-compare, hindi lang sa history, but also with similar company. Okay, para malaman mo, ano ba yung normal sa industry na ito? Ano ba yung, ano ba yung average sa industry? So, ganon.
So, Ma'am Kay Ana, pag magko-compare ka, i-compare mo sa may similarities. Huwag mong compare yung sarili mo sa sa iba. Compare mo sa may similarities kayo.
Tsaka Miss Lou and Miss Romeline, na-realize ko na talagang ang lahat ng part ng buhay or mapa-financial ratio man yan or sa investing, lagi natin titignan kung magbe-benefit pa tayo sa papasukin natin, di ba?
Tamang-tama ka dyan, ma'am. Minsan kasi talagang yung past mo nga maganda, hindi ka naman sure kung yung future mo okay pa, di ba? Natutunan ko yan.
Doon lang kasiguraduhan.
Di ba, intelligent investing yung sinabi natin.
Yes, ma'am. Pero ma'am, may question ako. Is there a way to judge the management that the company currently employs through financial ratio po ba?
Yes, of course. Oo, kasi ang financial ratios, 'di ba, may mga, sabi ko nga, 'di ba, iba-ibang group of financial ratios. Yung bawat group of ratios, mayroon siyang insights na binibigay sa company. Halimbawa, profitability ratio. So profitability ratio, we talk of the ability of the company to generate revenue, okay? Sino ba yung nagmamanage and, di ba, naggagawa ng strategies, decision making as to this ability to generate revenue? It's the business. So it's one of the key performance indicators. So normally, mga companies, di ba, lalo na pag mga bonuses, mga ganun, if they would want to give bonus to the company, hindi lang yan tumitingin, meron target net income, pero when at times also part of the key performance indicator is may target yan na magkano yung return on asset, magkano yung return on equity dapat na ma-achieve. So that's one way kasi of assessing that the company is doing well, therefore the company's management is doing well also.
Yes, ma'am. You're right on that talaga. Talagang kailangan mo talagang deep assess lang talaga. Hindi kahit na nag-financial ratio ka, kung hindi mo naman naintindihan or i-assess mismo yung ratios na yun, parang wala lang din, di ba? Para sa wala lang rin. Alam mo nga kung paano kunin yung mga ratios na to, kung hindi mo naman alam paano basahin, hindi mo rin magagamit masyado. Di ba? So, chika ko sa iyo, ma'am. Onting chika lang, ma'am. Baka meron kang ma-share. Have you ever po ba, like, yung ininvest mo siya okay na siya eh. Okay yung pagkakaano mo, yung pag-understand mo dito sa isang bagay. Nakita mo na maganda yung yield niya, pero hindi pala siya nag-yield ng gano'n. Hindi siya nagbigay kung ano yung dapat niyang ibibigay.
Mm, mm. Well, yes, oo, sa mga ano, iniisip ko lang kasi I also do have personal mga business venture. Tapos 'di ba
Mm.
before ka mag-enter into the business venture, gano'n din kina-calculate mo magkano ba yung cost of
Mm.
investment, tapos magkano yung target mo na return on investment. 'Di ba? Magkano yung
Yes.
makukuha mo na yield nga because invest ka ng ganitong amount. So, sometimes there are factors din kasi kasi 'di ba assumption din naman lalo na 'pag magsisimula ka ng business, 'di ba?
Mm.
Based kung wala pa kasi siyang historical data, ang ginagamit mo lang normally is halimbawa franchise. Ito I'm referring to a franchise. I opened a franchise before. Parang second ito na franchise. So, dahil second 'to, parang we were leveraging on how it went for the first, franchise that we opened kasi it was doing well, gano'n.
Mm.
Apparently, there are other circumstances na hindi na-incorporate na analyze into sa second franchise that it
Oo.
did not generate the same revenue as, yung same ROI or same
Mm.
payback period nung katulad nung sa first franchise. That happens, oo. Kasi may mga ano nga, eh, lalo na kung nag-open ka before the
The
pandemic
pandemic
nga,
talaga
'di ba?
'no?
Tapos suddenly, yung lalo na kung umaasa yung business mo, umaasa yung investment mo to, anong tawag dito, sa pagpasok ng mga tao, 'di ba? Yung ano
Yes.
talaga, so sa foot traffic, 'di ba? So,
Mm.
dahil nawala ng foot traffic because of the pandemic, it happened.
Talagang iba talaga yung dating ng pandemic, hindi lang talaga sa'tin, lalong-lalo na sa ano, eh, 'no, sa mga
Mga
businesses
business.
talaga. Ang
Yes,
Correct, correct.
partner.
ang pagkakatanda ko nung February nung last year, 'di ba ano, sabi-sabi pa lang. Tapos bigla tayong nag-lockdown. Biglang
Correct,
napasok lahat, 'di ba ma'am, originally yung mga ITR natin, pinapasa siya around April, naging May pinasa or June,
yes,
gano'n
true.
na. Yung fallback niya napakalaki kung makikita mo talaga kasi ang laking change niya. So, yung mga building, yung mga tinatayo mong mga businesses nung around early 2020, biglang nawala na yung inaasahan mo, hindi siya kung ano yung inassume mo talaga. So, parang ayoko na mag-assume. Ayoko na mag-assume.
Well,
Hindi na
it's
ako
part of ano naman, it's part of investing. As we know, okay, kahit na total nasa financial ratios na rin, yung pinag-uusapan natin. Kahit kasi
mm,
nag-analyze ka using the past, of course, 'di ba, the future, you still not sure what would happen. Kagaya nga niyan, yung mga pandemic, calamities, lalo na
mm.
Philippines tayo, we're prone to calamities. So, yung mga yan,
Yes.
while we can factor them in somehow dun sa assumption natin, we cannot know for sure. Wala namang nakakaalam sa atin kung ano yung mangyayari in the future. So itong mga to are just good indicators for us to parang at least we have some basis for our analysis. Hindi tayo kumuha lang ng number sa ere at sabihin na okay itong
Opo.
investment na to, 'di ba?
Mm.
Or okay itong stocks na to, ganon. But again, of course, risk, ano pa rin, no, we
Mm.
cannot always eliminate risk kahit na ang financial analysis natin, the use of financial ratios are there as tools to guide us into how we will invest, where to invest, yung mga gano'n. Pero we cannot, walang zero risk lalo na sa investment.
Tama ka diyan, ma'am. Kahit naman hindi sa investment, lahat talaga
Mm.
walang zero risk, 'di ba? Pero now na sinabi mo yung risk, may tanong ako, ma'am. Kasama ba yung risk sa financial ratios?
Kung kasama ba, well, you are calculating risk when you are using, when in using some of the financial ratios. Like halimbawa, liquidity ratio is the calculation of the
Yes.
liquidity risk.
Opo.
'Di ba, nung company, oo. Kasi
Mm.
the higher yung ratio nila, the lower siguro the risk that they won't be able to pay short-term, debt obligations. Tapos yung leverage ratio or yung mga debt over assets, debt over
Mm.
equity, it's, somehow it is a first step or a tool also to calculate the risk of possible default na hindi mabayaran yung mga debt na yon or yung risk ng company na yung mga ano na mataas kasi yung reliance
Mm.
niya sa utang over its own capital. So, ganun.
Mm. So, pagdating dito pala sa financial ratio, hindi mo lang maa-analyze kung yung pwesto mo sa isang industry, pero pati yung risk ng isang investors na maa-analyze mo rin siya na kung higher ba to sa risk, 'di ba? If risk taker ka, 'di ba? If risk averse ka, iti-take into consideration mo ba itong mga
Mm-mm.
pinapakitang yields ng ratios na binibigay nito? Buti na lang talaga, no? Ang napaka-helpful naman pala talaga ng financial ratios. Hindi lang siya to analyze the ano, kasi nung first na tinakal talaga ng mga students yung mga financial ratios, puro financial ano lang talaga yan eh, di ba? Mga ano, liquidity risk, ganyan-ganyan, iniisip natin, para saan ba to? Para dito pala to. Thank you so much for imparting that. Ako may last question, hindi naman last question.
Wait
Last na
lang, Miss
personal,
Lorraine or partner, wait lang. Bago
hindi,
tayo
last na personal question. Gusto
Ay,
ko muna ng
okay,
chika,
sige,
onting
sige.
chika muna kay
Okay, sige, sige,
ma'am.
partner. Sige, partner. Sige lang, partner.
Natutuwa ako sa pagchika ni ma'am eh. Yung chika niya may natututunan din ako eh. May nakita kang gano'n. So ma'am, last chika mo muna sa akin na bago tayo bumalik. Nung pandemic nga, ayan nga, 'di ba? Parang bumaba lahat, ganyan-ganyan. Ah, ano yung magandang business na na-yield nung pandemic in terms of sa financial ratios? Ano yung best business na nag-boom?
Well, ang nag-boom talaga nun, online business, 'di ba?
Mm.
Kasi yung mga tao, they started because they cannot go out, pero
Mm.
shopping is life. So, 'di ba? I'm
That's
sure you've
true.
seen the boost of live sellers, 'di ba? Mga live sellers, naging
Yan.
familiar tayo dun sa mga mine, 'di ba?
Yes po.
Mga
Naku, relate na relate
screenshot.
ako dyan, ma'am.
So yan. So yun talaga yung investment. Well, even before naman kasi talaga, it started gaining traction. Yung mga online platforms, Grab, Food Panda, yung mga ganyan, and even Shopee,
Yes.
Lazada, they're starting to gain. Pero because of what happened in the pandemic, the people are forced to stay home, but we still have some needs and wants, of course. People started to looking at options how they can buy the things they need, and then yung safe option for them is to go into bumili sa Shopee, sa Lazada, yung mga yan, yung mga online platforms na yan. And then, yung mga food businesses din, some food businesses still, kahit affected sila ng traffic, they still earned a lot during the pandemic because maaga nilang inadapt yung delivery, nag-join sila ng Food Panda halimbawa or Grab Food, yung mga ganon. And then of course, mga technology related mga din, na mga businesses kasi nga because people started, 'di ba parang dahil maraming mga company or maraming mga uh, work from home as well as online study, 'di ba? Yung mga gadgets, yung mga nagbebenta ng phones na may data, I mean yung use that can be used for Wi-Fi data, 'di ba? Mga gadgets na 'yan, laptop. So 'yan, there were also high returns during the pandemic because of they had needs sila kailangan sila during that time.
So, ma'am, sa opposite naman po tayo. Para naman po sa mga business na naapektuhan naman na sobra ng pandemic or yung mga talagang sobrang nawalan ng hanap buhay nitong pandemic, ano naman pong maitutulong ng financial ratio sa mga business na to para makabangon po silang muli?
Okay, okay. So siguro sa niyan, ang financial ratios could help them like check halimbawa, they would want to recover and then they can assess halimbawa, use leverage ratio to understand gaano ba kalaki yung utang ko at this point. Kaya ko pa bang umutang para to help the company recover, 'di ba? May ano pa ba, ah compared to my to the history, to my ability, based on estimate ko. Again, ang financial ratios kasi ang ginagamit mo is financial statements nung past, 'di ba? Pero from there, you can get some insights kung ano yung pwede mong gawin in the future to improve it, okay? Pwede rin halimbawa, napansin mo bumaba yung profitability ratio. So you can use the ratio to analyze saan mo pwedeng i-improve. Ano yung kailangan mong gawin. napansin ng company, masyado pa rin mataas yung expenses ko even at the height of the pandemic. What can I do to reduce these expenses? Baka may pwede na baka may ways na pala siya na hindi naman nakakatulong sa pag-generate ng revenue. Marketing expenses halimbawa, 'di ba? Pag check nila operating margin, tapos pag check na dinig deeper nila. Okay? So, ang financial ratios kasi titingnan mo lang yan sa una. Ito na, nakalculate mo na. Pero for the management or for business owners to understand it better, kailangan nilang tingnan ano ba yung nagko-cost, bakit ganun yung nakikita mo na numbers. So, halimbawa, nakita nila, marketing, gumagastos pa rin tayo sa marketing, pero it's not driving as expected revenue na gusto natin. So, baka pwede nating i-reduce. Or, baka pwede rin naman na, masyado pang mababa yung ginagamit natin for marketing. Tamang-tama, nagbabalikan na yung mga tao, di ba? Nagsisimula na ulit. Somehow, there is some sense of normalcy already. So, baka we need to add to our marketing expenses to generate revenue and to help the business recover. So, mga ganun.
Ayun pala, ma'am. So, kailangan nating iset po ulit ang mga priority natin para ma-assess na ng mga business na sobrang naapektuhan ng pandemic kung sila ba ay kumikita pa or magbe-benefit pa in the future. So, bago po tayo mag-proceed sa next question, hello po sa 180 viewers natin po sa Facebook. Hello po, guys! Hi!
Hi guys! Kamusta
I
naman
hope you're
kayo
enjoying
dyan?
the show po.
Yes, I hope na-enjoy kayo the same way na I'm enjoying chika ni Ma'am Roma. Ako, ma'am, di ba,
Yes,
ma'am, financial, finance and accounting consultant kayo sa Resource Global. Nagkaroon na ba kayo, ma'am, ng client na kung saan hirap kang i-explain sa kanila yung yield ng ratios na to?
No naman actually. Kasi, I cannot of course disclose yung mga clients and all, even sa auditing firms. Pero, I think kasi most of the people that we talk to naman, since simple lang naman yung the insights that we can get high level from the financial ratios. I think accountants, even non-accountants, they can easily grasp what each ratio means. So, yun.
So, madali talaga siyang makuha ng mga tao na, ma'am, no? Kahit na hindi financial yung natin. Basta nagbi-business. Basta nagbi-business talaga tayo. Madali nating magets yan. Kasi kailangan natin yun sa business natin no? Ayan.
Oo.
Ma'am, nakita rin po namin na professor daw po kayo sa school ng PUP Santo Tomas branch po. Ma'am, may I ask kung sa pagtuturo po ba, na-i-apply rin po ba ang financial ratio?
Well, depende kung ano yung dinidiscuss na topics. But of course, we can always relate it kapag may mga kung halimbawa ngayon nagpe-perform ng mga financial statement analysis, so syempre ratio is part of it. And then sometimes din, 'di ba, ang pinaka siguro practical application ng ratio sa atin, sa mga estudyante ko, sa mga ganun, or sa inyo din as accounting students is lang to somehow kidding. I am just joking. Pero normally, if you want to find kapag sa future naghahanap kayo ng trabaho, syempre ang una niyong isipin, return on investment. Ano ba yung investment niyo, 'di ba? Yung tuition fees
Naging
niyo,
benefit.
yung cost,
yan, ma'am.
so, gaano ba kabilis yung gusto niyong payback period? So, siguro pwede niyong gamitin calculation para understand whether you'll accept an offer or not, 'di ba?
Tama yan, ma'am.
Tama yan, ma'am.
Baka pwede ko rin ito magamit sa mga suitors. Ay, suitors!
Yeah, pwede rin. Pwede rin, actually.
Magkakaroon ba ako ng mataas na investment pag sinagot ko to? Mga gano'n.
Oo, check mo whether expenses, mataas ba yung expenses ko dito or income generating, no?
Kung puro ba naglalabas ka lang or may makukuha ka rin dito?
Tama. Naku, hindi
Correct.
naman tayo pwedeng...
Diba? Practical application.
Pero ma'am, di ba since teacher po kayo right now, ano yung nag-push sa inyo para magturo?
That's a good question, partner.
Ako, I started teaching kasi I was an auditor noon sa auditing firm noong 2012. And I would want to do something. Alam niya, for sure, alam niya naman what sa audit, 'di ba? It's sometimes long hours, overnight,
Mm-mm.
sometimes lalo na pag busy season. So I wanted some time away from that work and do
Mm-mm.
something that I think I would like. So I tried teaching. So it was just it's not something that I wanted to do before. Parang it was something that I wanted to try lang. And then when I started teaching, well, nakakabata siya first. Because you're talking to, 'di ba, younger generation. So at the same time, I don't know. I feel happy every time I teach. So parang it took parang 9 hours every Saturday. So I was teaching 3 classes, 3 hours each, and nonstop talking during the 3 hours. But at the end of the day, while I am physically tired, I'm happy. It feels that I'm doing something that I
Oh,
am passionate about, that I like. So yun. So that's why I started teaching. And there's something about teaching na ano eh, na kasi
fulfilling ba,
oo,
ma'am?
it's really fulfilling. And at the same time, when yung mga estudyante kasi, tayo, 'di ba? We always remember our teachers.
Yes.
Our teachers somehow leave a mark,
Impact sa ating
iba-iba, 'di
buhay.
ba? Oo, correct. So I want that also.